Good evening. Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts. The victims were in airplanes or in their offices. Secretaries, businessmen and women, military and federal workers, moms and dads, friends and neighbors. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. The pictures of airplanes flying into buildings, fires burning, huge structures collapsing have filled us with disbelief, terrible sadness, and a quiet, unyielding anger. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat. But they have failed. Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings. They cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shatter steel, but they cannot dent the steel of American resolve. America was targeted for attack because we're the brightest beacon for freedom and opportunity in the world, and no one will keep that light from shining. Today, our nation saw evil, the very worst of human nature, and we responded with the best of America. With the daring of our rescue workers, with the caring for strangers and neighbors who came to give blood and help in any way they could. Immediately following the first attack, I implemented our government's emergency response plans. Our military is powerful, and it's prepared. Our emergency teams are working in New York City and Washington, D.C. to help with local rescue efforts. Our first priority is to get help to those who have been injured, and to take every precaution to protect our citizens at home and around the world from further attacks. The functions of our government continue without interruption. Federal agencies in Washington, which had to be evacuated today, are reopening for essential personnel tonight and will be open for business tomorrow. Our financial institutions remain strong. The American economy will be open for business as well. The search is underway for those who were behind these evil acts. I've directed the full resources in our intelligence and law enforcement communities to find those responsible and bring them to justice. We will make no distinction between the terrorists who have committed these acts and those who harbor them. I appreciate so very much the members of Congress who have joined me in strongly condemning these attacks. And on behalf of the American people, I thank the many world leaders who have called to offer their condolences and assistance. America and our friends and allies join with all those who want peace and security around the world, and we stand together to win the war against terrorism. Tonight, I ask you for your prayers for all those who grieve, for the children whose worlds have been shattered, for all those whose sense of safety and security has been threatened. And I pray that they will be comforted by a power greater than any of us, spoken through the ages in Psalm 23. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. This is a day when all Americans from every walk of life unite in our resolve for justice and peace. America has stood down enemies before, and we will do so this time. None of us will ever forget this day, yet we go forward to defend freedom and all that is good and just in our world. Thank you, good night, and God bless America. That was the speech or the address to the nation that was given on the evening of September 11th, 2001 by President George Bush. Those words that I'm sure not very many people know, I've watched this speech several times. Particularly that last paragraph rings true to me today. It makes us ask a question. Did we forget? Did we forget what happened that morning? Did we forget that there were men and women, husbands and wives, fathers and mothers, who never saw the light of day again, who never saw their children again? Did we forget the firefighters that rushed to save those who were lost and in danger? Have we forgotten the first responders? Have we forgotten those that fought the terrorists on the flight that could have hit the White House or the Capitol building? Have we forgotten? In this day and age, we are so divided by political ideologies. One side is, debating, and one side is debating, and they're always arguing at arms with each other. It's been like this since the foundation of our country. But today is supposed to be a day where we lay all that aside. And as Americans, we come together and we remember. We remember what happened. We remember those lives who were lost. We remember who our allies are. We remember the sacrifices made to save people. Above all, we remember the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, who through his mercy and compassion on us, made us not forget. Today is a day of great reflection in the hearts of every American. Today is a day where we cannot forget. Today is a day where if we forget, we need to remember. Today is a day of solemnness. Today is a day of loss. But also today is a day of hope. Today is a day where we see that Americans, regardless of political faction, came together and rebuilt this nation. The nation is not built by Congress, whoever's in the White House, whoever sits on the Supreme Court. The nation is built by we the people. And since that nation was built by we the people, it is up to us to unite it. It's not up to the government. It's not up to any political faction. It's up to we the people. That's what happened. We came together. And where there was destruction, we mended. Where there was chaos, we restored order. Not as political rivals, but as Americans. I pray that we would continue to search for that unity again. I pray that today those who are remembering lives lost will find comfort and grace in Jesus. And I pray that above all things, we never forget what happened that day. Thank you.